See, first of all, I would like to let you know people, see nowadays, if you are going for interview, they are looking only for three things. First thing is Java 8.
Okay.
Core Java means Java 8 only. They are going to ask
Yeah,
all the
Java it
questions
is.
Java 8 only. Most of conditions, okay?
Yes.
Java 8.
Yes. Yeah.
After that, if they are looking for the backend only, then Spring Boot microservices. Even the hands-on the Spring
Yes.
Boot microservices, not like simply some actuator you will talk about, some profile you will talk
No,
about.
no. Actually,
Mhm.
they provided me a code and just to talk me to give me the means
Altimetric.
intercommunication between two microservice.
It's
Yeah.
Altimetric. Which
Not
company?
its ultimate metric. Its company name is Citrix.
Citrix.
Citrix in
Ah,
yeah implementation.
it's a so much big company, yeah, Citrix.
Yeah.
It's a one kind of product-based company. You can expect like the label
Yeah,
is
it's a
so much
product.
high.
Yeah, product based company.
So much high. Yeah. Okay. So guys, first of all, the core Java means Java 8. Backend means Spring Boot microservices, and front end means Angular, definitely with Spring Boot.
Yes.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
I'm planning, actually, I'm planning for the Spring Boot along with the Angular and Spring Boot with the microservices. So actually, I'm having some of the courses over the Udemy. So even I'm practicing actually. So I'm revising the stuff because I'm looking to switch now. I need to switch the company, and definitely the working in a company is different and switching the company is different. Okay. So you cannot expect the same kind of stuff as part of your experience. Means experience knowledge is going to help you out only for one or two rounds. That is manager round, which is going to be happen in the end. But if you're talking about the first, second, and third round, I am expecting near to four rounds are going to be conducted, right? As part of any company. The first round possibly the MCQ kind of stuff. Okay, MCQ like they are going to have the MCQ for you for the Spring, for the mic, for the JDBC, means core Java, advanced Java, and the frameworks. This will be the one kind of uh, yeah, tell me. Okay. You can mute yourself, Priya, if you don't want to talk. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here, first of all, the first round may be the MCQ. Okay. The MCQ may be from the hacker Earth or maybe from the hacker rank, along with one question that is going to be available, programming code. So nowadays, what is happening? All the company, even if you know about the Sapient, okay, the Sapient was having only two or three questions, and that is the coding all that you need to complete. But now Sapient also come into the MCQ kind of stuff. So whatever you would like to do in form of MCQ, because people are knowledgeable enough, but they don't have that much good expertise for the questions. And the real time problem is a bit difficult actually. They are out of the track. So you are not supposed to attempt such kind of real time problem because you are working professional. You are not supposed to have the practice like a fresher. Okay, you should get some real time exposure. So what is going to be happen nowadays? You may heard about the metal. So metal is one kind of organization which is having their very high level of the questions, that is MCQ, the first round, which is also known as the assessment. Okay, technical assessment. The technical assessment first round is going to be happen. As part of that first round, maybe you will get two to three questions related to the programming, and rest of the question will be your MCQ only. MCQ level is also so much high in terms of metal. If you talk about the an IIT technology, even in terms of Accenture, also Accenture following the standard of metal. So even nowadays, what company doing? Accenture is one of the biggest company which is investing a lot for the learning. So I attended one training on this Thursday, not on Wednesday. After the training, immediately they sent me one test of the metal. Now you need to get certified. You need to get qualified for that particular test. And once you will attend the training, once you will be qualified for the test, automatically that skill will be added in your skill set as part of the company portal. So now people are pushing you until and unless you don't having the quality, if you're not updating up yourself on up to date, not keeping yourself technical strong enough, they will kick you out. So in this way only they are going to measure how much you're capable enough to proceed with the things. You getting my point? So even you are into the project or you're not into the project, you having good knowledge or may not having the good knowledge, but they are going to conduct the training. They're going to provide you the inputs and they will ask for the some assessment. You need to qualify enough for those assessment. So you need to prepare enough for yourself. First of all, the second thing, coding. Nowadays, coding one or two questions only. The big product-based company also understand the real-time problems are unfamiliar as part of the real-time experience people. So they are simply trying to have the MCQ. MCQ level is also so much high. You cannot simply expect, the Spring, you can crack that. MCQ also too much tricky. Even I recently I given the exam of Pro also. Wipro MCQ is also so much difficult. So it depends on the client, which kind of client they are looking for. They would like to hire you actually. So the assessment is also based on the client requirement. Okay. Even ultimate ticket there, DBS is there. All these companies are having the assessment. So you need to be prepared enough for the hacker and kind of stuff. So all are technical. I'm not talking about the aptitude. Okay. If you are having 3 years experience, also they're looking for the aptitude kind of stuff, like at least mathematics problem, at least probability kind of problem. So just leave about that. Don't worry about that. Leave the even recently one of my friends, he's a Salesforce developer. She given the interview for the Cognizant. In Cognizant, they conducted MCAT examination, and as part of that MCAT examination, syntax formation, mail formation, English they was checking. So see, now not only the technical stuff, they are looking how much you're capable enough to deal with the client, how much capable enough to have the proper construction of your emails, English, how much good English you can use it. So challenges are increasing day by day. So you have to work in all the direction. I'm not giving you any kind of fear. Okay, just I would like to let you know how exactly you need to prepare yourself. Even Sagar, just Sanjay before some time told me like the people are looking only for front end means Angular, back end means microservices, core Java means Java 8. Okay, so some companies are so much high extent. So even after this basic things, now we will move forward for the Java 8. We will look how exactly questions are coming for the Java 8, how exactly you can answer. Because the functional programming, simple terminology is there. For that simple terminology also you cannot understand how exactly the Lambda function can be applied there, how exactly you can work with it. So that's why it's a very important to understand how things are going to work out. Okay, I hope so you guys got some visibility. Okay, so you need to focus more on Spring. I'm saying from the very first day, after the core Java, your main intention is the Spring. That is at least Spring you should know. Then Spring Boot and microservices. I'm planning everything, but it depends on how much time I will get, how much time you will have, and how exactly we can work accordingly. But as of now, we are just keeping some foundation. See how exactly we can understand that stuff. Okay. Anybody have any question related to yesterday's session? I would like to ask anything related to yesterday's session. So I'm going to upload the recordings which I have did yesterday. So I'm going to show you guys, and then you can, if you have left the class, if you was not having the visibility, you can go through that and you can prepare yourself. As of now, 8 session has been done from our side, and all 8 session has been uploaded as part of our YouTube channel. So you can simply go through the YouTube, you can refer to them. And one of the worst thing, right, you are not aware about basic terminology like API, application programming interface, how they can look into the API. Okay, Shubham, I would like to ask one question from you here. What do you understand from API, and what exactly things are there as part of API?
1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So APIs means predefined classes. Okay, whatever the thing which are common to all the programmers, which we need repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
So some other vendor companies or we ourselves develop this logic or the class and
Mm-hmm.
create the dot class file for it and for the and group them together,
Mm-hmm.
and for this grouping of this in the jar file or in jar file.
Mm-hmm.
um, so as to have this reusability, we call this as an API. Okay, we have this different API. For example, for Java itself is providing API. So
Mm-hmm.
this API is in the rt.jar file. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Okay, your 50% answer is wrong actually. Your
okay, okay.
50% answer is wrong. 50% is correct. I will let you know that you are correct, but your answer is 50% wrong. Nana, what do you understand from API?
It is kind of documentation that maintained by the programmers, means some program done by the programmer, and
Mm-hmm.
what the logic is there inside that. uh, it is about the instructions, mean to read something for a, means we have done the code, and for
Mm-hmm.
understanding to other people we have made a API documentation like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you are also 50% correct actually. Means terminology 50% wrong. You are not in wrong concept, but terminology little bit need to be improved. Anybody here who understand the API in a proper way? Ria, I think so. I explained the API properly to you. Can you please let me know what do you exactly understand from API? How exactly API can help you to do the things? Yeah.
Hello.
Mhm.
So API is a Java is an application programming interface. API
Mhm.
is actually having and it is having as a part of this JDK. It is as a part of JDK. We are having the classes along with the interfaces and the predefined classes are there, which is actually given by the Sun Microsystems who
Mhm.
developed the Java language,
Mhm.
so that we can so that we can use them directly.
Mhm.
The classes are given as
Mhm.
the classes are given as the API, and
Mhm.
it also provides the documentation like information about the constructor methods which are having.
Mhm.
So we can get the help from we can get the reference
Mhm. Okay.
from that API and documentation.
Mhm. Okay. Completed. Completed. Uh,
Yes.
Okay. So guys, see the
Yes.
means whatever the Ria said, everything is correct here. But we see Ria have given the answer in a perfect way, but it can be improved in a more better way. Now let me explain you how exactly you need to answer to the question as part of 5 plus or 3 plus years of experience person. And one more thing, guys, you need to understand. Until unless you having near to 6 years of experience, your answers are quite acceptable in terms of less experience. Like I'm saying, 2 years, the way Ria has given the answer, I can expect, okay, she having 2 years of experience. But the same answer is given by the 5 to 7 years of person, they are not going to accept it. Okay. So it means even somebody was asking me, Lucky, can you please let me know what are the question as part of 7 years experience, 5 years experience, 3 years experience? Questions are same, the way you are giving the answer is matters actually. Okay, so let me answer the question. What do you mean by API? First of all, you need to say API stands for the application programming interface. Who is releasing this API? The company who have developed their product are releasing the API. Okay, in terms of first, if I talk about the Sun Microsystem, they have developed the Java with the help of which James Gosling. James Gosling have developed the Java. Now Java is developed. What Java need to be understood by someone, right? How you think people will understand? So we having the API. If you will search over the Google now, you need to write Java 8 API. Then you are going to get this link. Let me show you here. The same video I have uploaded already yesterday means it's available as part of our previous session. If you will write Java 8 API, it will give you first of all the first link. Click on this link. Automatically, this is going to be visible to you. So you know the by default package is java.lang. So if you see here, I am searching control F if you do now Java lang. This is the package. This is the default package. In this package, all those classes are coming by default. Now your answer is finishing most of time. API is just a stand for application programming interface. API used it's a third party API. You are simply using as part of your software, but no, this is not the proper way. The first of the proper way. API stands for the application programming interface. It is released by the company who have developed their products. Okay, suppose I am saying Java has been developed by the Sun Microsystem. The Sun Microsystem have released the API. API is released by the those people only who is open source actually. Okay, it's not released by the Apple company. Apple company is developing their OS. Apple company developing whatever the product. If it's not open source, you cannot get the API. API you are going to get for the open source only, because this API is going to help you out to do develop the things actually. So with the help of Java only, you are going to develop Java-based application. Okay, so such kind of a technology which is not open source, you are not going to get the API. You are not talking this terminology actually. You are not talking about this point first of all. Okay, so you are going to get the API as part of your product. The product need to be used, and the product is the open source product. Okay, like if I talk about the Java, talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 is there. Now for that Note 10, you are getting the styler. Styler is nothing but the pen. Okay, the pen having some API. That API is going to help you out to write over the screen, to take the photo, to have the PPTs. Okay, you would like to move the pen, gesture support, then PPT is moving here and there. So they have released one API for the Java for this particular S Pen, and that for the S Pen API is open. So whoever would like to use S Pen in a more better way, they can simply work the API and they can implement the API and they can add more features as part of the S Pen. Okay, you got the visibility. So like such kind of technology is called a party API also, because Samsung have released the API for the S Pen. So now the S Pen API is open source. API means application programming interface. It's open source. You can develop the feature on top of it. Linux is the operating system. So API is applicable for the programming languages. It is not applicable for the operating system. Operating system code is available as part of your GitHub. You can look into it, but it's a very vast thing. You cannot look into the operating system code. Even I cannot, nobody means very rare amount of people are there. Now, what things are involved as part of the API? So first of all, you having the packages. Those are the list of packages you are going to get. Then you are going to get the interfaces, classes, and exceptions. See, classes, enums, exceptions, okay? And you are going to get the errors. You are going to get the annotations. So even those things, whatever you are getting, those are the predefined stuffs. Interface is predefined, annotation is predefined, classes are predefined. You can create your own annotation. You can create your own exception. You can create your own enum. You can create your own classes. You can create your own interfaces that you know already, right? On top of that, you can use the existing one, so it will extend the features. It will help you to do that stuff as per your requirement. Okay, you need to know what function is working what. If I talk about the clonable interface, clonable is interface available as part of java.lang package. Now this clonable interface is applicable for which particular classes? If you look into this API, okay, this API will let you know, okay, this clonable interface is require, it's a one kind of interface which don't having single method itself. It's not having any method. It's a marker interface. But this clonable interface will work with the clone method, and this clone method is not available as part of clonable interface. It is available as part of object class. Now, why this method is available in the object class? Why this method is not available as part of clonable interface? All this information you are going to get as part of your API. If you see which version this particular interface has been released, okay, what kind of exception you can expect, what kind of methods are there, what are the relative things, you can look into it. Even if you see, it's a major interface, it's having the sub interfaces. What are the sub interfaces? It's an attribute is there, attribute character iterator is there, attributes are there. So many things are there, guys, which you really don't know, which you will able to understand from the API. So first of all, third parties APIs are also there. So JDBC is also having the API. So what is the JDBC API? If I will talk about java.sql package is there. If you go to this particular package, it's having the JDBC API. What is the JDBC API available here? Callable interface is there. You having prepare statements, result set is there. Okay, we having the new API which is known as the networking API. Java.net is there. You having networking API. So all those APIs are available integrated with the particular software. It's not an independent APIs are not there. Java.util is there. So each and every individual API is integrated together. They release as a product. Spring having the API. Okay, so just Spring is the open source, right? I'm just showing you because you guys are not really understanding how exactly you need to understand the subject. Okay, so if I'm saying Spring API, it always when you will type without version, it will give you the latest API. The API is always not meant by the things which you are always expecting. It can be a documentation also. See, this is the Spring API. Okay. Now what you know about the some particular package. You are saying org dot spring framework dot. Okay. What else you know? Spring framework. Okay. Framework dot, I know something related to the application context, something. Okay, core. Okay, you are saying core. See, core is there, context is there, right? Like this, you need to look into the things. Core is there, context is there, do is there. All those different kind of modules are integrated with each other. If I'm going for core, so core definitely having some interfaces. What are the interfaces? If you see here, those are the interfaces. You may also have seen some of the application containers also there. If you are not really know what exactly you're looking for, but you know some class name, you can simply search here. What is the class name? I know Bean Factory. Bean Factory. Okay, you need to remember in a proper way. Bean Factory. Bean Factory. T-O-R-I. Bean Factory. This is showing me here, but actually this is available as part of your java.beans.xml.factory. Here you having Bean Factory. What exactly Bean Factory they are doing here? What kind of annotation are applicable as part of your Bean Factory? So Bean Factory is also having some extension of the classes or some super interfaces there or some sub classes are there. Okay, so what things are there as part of Bean Factory? XML class path application context. You having application context also, right? Default definition documentation data. No, XML document. How things are going to work out, that you need to understand. You got my visibility? This is the API. In this way you need to answer. So see, I'm talking about the API near to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like this, you need to answer in front of them. Because if you are simply giving API stands for the application programming interface. So you are simply saying API released by the third party. What exactly you are going to do? I'm going to develop the software. I'm going to JDBC API. Just I showed you. If you don't know anything, just simple search over the Java. No need to search the things separately. Java JDBC API. Now JDBC API has been implemented by whom? No, most of people has been implemented the JDBC API. It has been implemented by the Sun Microsystem. It has been implemented by the what to say from your my IBM. There is a JDK from IBM also. See, it will if you will search for API, it will show you the things. It's talking about the Java.util package. If you search about Java.sql package, Java.util package, all this. See, so those are the APIs. If you really don't know what is the package name, how exactly you can look into the API. But one of the best way, the main important thing we need to understand the documentation also. Okay, anybody having any question here? Anybody would like to add anything which they are aware about? But definitely you need to say interface, classes, enums, exceptions, errors. This is the APIs. So first of all, we having the package, we having those things, and we can create our own custom thing for the development purpose. Anybody having any question here related to the API?
Actually, Lucky,
Yeah.
I want to ask something here. Like, for example, some of the methods are deprecated as part of the particular version. So we
Right.
also get that information in the API. Na? So
Right.
can we talk
Perfect.
about
Perfect.
these also?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
this point?
Yeah. So actually, guys, even which version is going to be promoted, which version is not going to be promoted, all this information is also available in part of API. Now, I really don't know which kind of classes has been deprecated and which classes are going to be involved or removed. You have the Google. Simply search Java 8. Okay, deprecated classes. Okay, deprecated, even you write, see deprecated annotation methods, whatever you want. I am saying deprecated classes I want. Okay, if you search here, what exactly it's going to do, it's going to go to the documentation. If I will go to the documentation, it will let me know, it will show you in terms of the API only. So see, deprecated interface, I'm searching here, so those are the deprecated interface which are not going to continue with the Java. But most of the cases, see, if you see the Porva server, Dia server, you really don't know about those things. So you can get to know about those particular stuffs as well. Okay, you will get to know. So anybody remember any deprecated class which is not being supported? So I can search over the Google, I can show you, see documentation also containing this information. This is not going to be continued anymore as part of this particular class, right? Got the visibility, guys? So what features are going to be involved? What features are going to be removed? What exactly? See, it's a one kind of total book for you. It's part of API. No need to search anything. No need to search it blindly. Just you have the Google. Just type over the Google. You are going to get. You are going to get to know about it. Even I can search here also. If I say deprecated, it will cover some of the point. Okay, but problem is here. I need to use the proper deprecated. Okay, so types of annotation, what things are going to be continued, what things are not going to be continued. Even deprecated is one kind of annotation. This annotation has been applied, means this particular class, this particular variable, this particular things are not going to work out. If anybody have attended the Nakasa class where they was talking about, if you would like to create your own interface, you need to mention the retention. When exactly it need to be run, it need to be run at compile time or runtime. Do you would like to have the documentation for it? When what is your target? You are targeting constructor, you're targeting the variable, or you're targeting the method, you're targeting the package, or you're targeting the parameter. Parameter, nothing, I'm talking about the method parameter. Variable means nothing but the class method inside variable. Field means the class label variables. So first of all, you need to aware about the terminology. Constructor means class constructor. Field means class variable. Local variable means method inside variable. Method means simple method. Package means java.lang, something like that. Parameter means method parameter. Okay, and type means what kind of things you would like to go for. Data type I'm talking about here, right? That is, we like to know, this is one kind of annotation is also available. So many things are there. If I will talk about all these things, definitely you should understand first of all, then only I can talk about some of the very good
Lucky.
yeah.
I want to ask questions related to programming in your experience point of view. So, what happens is that when we write the code in our classes, so in this code while writing, we use this normal comments, single line comment and multi line comments. So, generate this API documentation, we need documentation comments, and we need to use this all this different annotations inside this comment to generate this API. Okay, so do you also write this as in a 4 year or 5 year experience developer? Do we
Mhm.
also need to write this documentation comment inside this? We need to use this different annotations or some other coding to generate this API to generate our API, or
Mhm.
can we
So,
just write this single line or multi-line
yeah.
comments also?
Yeah. So see, even you are fresher or the experience, it is must you need to follow the standards. Even you having the experience, you don't having the experience, definitely you need to maintain the documentation because you are not the person who is going to deal with particular project for the entire life, right? So even you are fresher or experienced does not matter. You need to follow the standard. As part of the standard, you need to write the annotation. You need to write the documentation related annotation as well. Let me show you. While you are trying to create any class as part of the eclipse, what is it's giving you? It's giving you the author name, it's giving you the date, it's giving you the who exactly from what version you're taking care. So everything need to be taken care. It's a fresher or experience. Yeah, in terms of fresher, I can simply say the code review is going to be happen. Once the code review is going to be happen, now your TL is going to suggest you, you should write this particular code. You should write this particular code. So in this way, see, I'm working for the banking project. So right now I'm not able to show you how exactly the documentation is going to be written. But yeah, you can try this thing in your home. Just simply right click, okay, and you say new. And if I'm saying class, okay, as part of class, I'm saying my class, suppose my class, okay. If you see here, you have the option of the public static final. You're having the option to generate comment here. And default things are being inherited a default constructor. It just leave about this, okay. If I'm simply creating one class here, you may see you are going to get some such kind of details. See, author. You need to write the author name. So whatever the author name you're going to have, what kind of method you having, what kind of argument you having. See, automatic generated comments are you able to see here only we need to update the information. Here you will update this method belongs for what particular kind of activity. If you type here at the rate, okay, you will so see at the rate category, at the rate deprecated, at the rate exception, at the rate param. What exactly your method is doing, each and every information you need to write here. You cannot simply leave it. Your TL will not approve your code, then you will be in trouble. Your code is not going to the development itself server. Okay, you are working in your local server, then it needs to be go for development server, then SIT server, then UAT, then production, and your code is going to be reviewed. And definitely, possibly you are seeing deprecated or exception. You will let me know what kind of exception you are facing as part of this particular method. Who have written how many numbers of what to say variables you are using. Okay, so each and everything need to be taken care. So like this documentation is must. Without documentation you are not supposed to. This is the documentation comments actually. Those are the documentation comments. Okay, this is not a multi-line. You should not understand it's a multi-line comment. See, double star is here, right? Double star is here. Those are the documentation comments. Your Eclipse itself generating the comments. So you need to mention, see, package information. Those are the documentation comment. I'm not sure how much you guys are good enough in core Java, but those are the documentation comment. There are three kinds of comment: single line comment, multi-line comment, and documentation comment. You even you are fresher experience, you need to mention, you need to, and it's depend on the client also, what exactly client you want. Okay, it's a single line comment, like what exactly things are going to be happen as part of this particular step. Suppose I'm writing some piece of code, some particular value is coming, some particular operation is going to perform in some particular string operation. So what exactly your logic is doing, that you need to write there. Why you need to write there? Because you are not going to deal with the company for the entire life. After 2 years or 1 year, you are going to switch the company. Now somebody else is going to deal with your code. Now how exactly he will understand what you have written? You written some mashed up, and now I am not able to understand that things are not going to work out. So even a fresher experience, it's a mandatory to mention the comment. It's mandatory to update the information. Then only things are going to be work out. You got the visibility, guys? Yeah, because you cannot
Yes,
simply
yes.
let me know, okay, I'm a fresher, I don't know. You don't know, that's fine, but you wanna work. Yeah, I wanna work. They will give you some sample code. They will tell you, okay, you need to follow the standard, you need to write the code. It's also depend on the client also, what exactly client is looking for. Because my client is a little bit lazy enough. He say, okay, write one or two. See, so some standards are there. You cannot have more than 7 parameters as part of your method. Sonar Cube, if you heard about the Sonar Cube, search over the Google. Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube is one kind of tool which is checking a standard of your coding, which is checking the security, check marks. We having so many tools nowadays into the market. Okay, if I'm saying Sonar Cube, see, search here. Sonar Cube. So even your TL don't know, you don't know. Even your code, which is legacy code, which is written in Java 6 or Java 7. See, code quality and security. This is going to be done by the SonarQube. Those are the tools are available. You have the integrations with the Jenkins or okay. So those things are there. Even you check marks, security, banking related check marks is there. This is the one kind of tool. Okay. So check marks is next level of the security, software security, specifically related to the banking kind of software, where you can have the encryption issues, where you can have the information. See, banking related sectors, they are simply working for that. So many tools are there. Even you are not able to do, your TL is not able to do, but now tools are suggesting you. Now tools are telling to you. Now Java 8 support is going to be finished by 2022. Now Java 8 code need to be updated as part of your Java 11 or Java 13. Now how exactly your code is going to be updated? You cannot look into each and every line and you cannot write as part of Java 11. You will simply push your code for the SonarQube. SonarQube will let you know, okay, this particular function can be written in the Lambda. This particular thing can be done in such kind of way. So one of the best thing, Java is backward support, but definitely the backward support is there. But if you can have the more optimization over your functionality with the help of latest function or latest implementation, definitely you need to upgrade them. So like this nowadays everybody using. As part of my company, I'm using the Sonar. As part of my company, I'm using the check marks. You having the API, you having the documentation, you need to mention everything, you need to learn the things. You cannot simply skip. I'm a fresher, I cannot do that. Got the visibility, guys? I hope so you got some ideology here, right? Okay, let's proceed further. Yeah, anybody having any other
Lucky,
question here? Yeah.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, yeah.
Actually, I want to ask, how can we generate the documentation comment dynamically? I mean to say, is there any shortcut to generate the documentation comment? Can you put it there?
See. Shortcut. See, if you see this, the ID here, ID, you having the information like if you write at the rate except at the rate anything, na, it will show you what kind of option you can mention. Like you need to write what kind of from which version you have introduced with this method, what kind of exception thrown by it. Once all this comment has been done, then you having one option. What is the option? Documentation is going to be generated dynamically. You are not going to generate a documentation. For generating the documentation, you need to mention the annotation. So suppose I'm saying just leave about it. Come here. I'm saying this is my sample project. I'm right clicking here. I'm saying show in the system explorer. I came here. Okay. Now it will show me here. I'm simply going here and I'm saying CMD. Okay. This is the CMD now. If I'm saying Java doc, okay, Java doc, okay, and I would like to generate some particular documentation. Okay. So this is if you see some documentation need to be generated, but it is showing me one error. What is the one error? Because some of the errors are there as part of my project. So you having the documentation generation facility as part of your Maven also. You having the documentation generating facility as part of your Java also. So once you are done with the things, you will able to see the documentation. Let me show you. I have found someone actually. Recently, I have. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me remove the errors. It will show you the things. Okay? Let me remove this particular thing. So documentation can be generated through the Java doc. Even you may heard about the Swagger. Swagger is one kind of your like we were having the Postman. The next level of Postman is Swagger for the REST API. So those are also there to help you to generate a document dynamically. Okay, you may search about the Swagger. So there are huge amount of things are there. Once you will be the part of the company, you cannot simply tell to me, "Hi, Lucky, I don't know how to do the things." API documentation design tools for the things, right? You will give this to your Swagger will generate each and everything. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. So you will going to get so many things. So no need to worry. Even whatever see, even in 90% of things, you are not going to have the coding kind of stuff. You may need to maintain such kind of documentation because definitely you are going to give your product to someone else, right? So how exactly documentation is going to be generated? See, if you see here, they are going to generate a documentation. You are going to write a description here as part of Swagger. You will mention some format here. Okay, what is the information as part of info? You're going to write some description, you're going to write some version. Okay, you're going to write some content context. All those things is going to be visible like this. So this you will write, and this is one kind of format, and this format is going to be followed by the Swagger. So Swagger is, and how exactly Swagger is going to work out? It is going to work out with the help of such kind of comment at the parameter, at the deprecated, at the category. So from the Java annotation itself, it is going to understand, and from that documentation itself, it is going to help you out to generate the documentation dynamically. We have so many tools. So I strongly recommend you guys go through the tools, try to understand the standards. Don't blindly make the program like Hello World or some other programming. Just try to understand the standards. If you will understand the standards, definitely you are going to learn the things, right? So let me try to generate this documentation because I removed this here. Let me open it again. Let me show you. The last time even I shown you how exactly you can see what exactly things are being contained by your what to say interface. Like I shown you what exactly compiler had added as part of your interface. The reason here to give you the classes like this is I'm also preparing for the switching of the company, and definitely switching company is bit different, and working is bit different. Okay, so those things are there. What error is showing in the code? Wait, let me do one thing. Let me generate the documentation for the particular. Okay, so Java profiler, everybody know, right? How the Java profiler works? You guys know Java profiler? Let me show you first of all Java profiler. If you see my interface here, in interface, if I'm removing everything here, simply writing like this, and I'm creating one method. I have shown in the previous classes also, right, guys? You are aware about it. Hi, Noor.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Noor have joined us for the very first time. Hi, Noor. How are you?
Lucky, can you just increase the font size?
Yeah, I'm increasing.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Noor. How are you?
I'm great, really.
Great. Yeah, great to have you, bro. Here, we are trying to learn something. Mm, guys, do you remember how exactly we can have the font increased? Actually, I seen
You
long time
search
here.
you search
Okay,
in
Inside the
this
basic last
paper.
one,
click.
basic last one. Okay,
last text font.
a text font, right?
Yes, text one.
Text.
Okay.
14.
Now, are you able to see? Yeah. So, if you see, this is the your
Yes, yes.
now it basically things are available, and what are the things available for the Java. So yeah, see, you will say no, it's a default one. No, it's a public. See, if things are not mentioned there, it's not means it's the default. It's a public in terms of interface. Interface can have only public things. It cannot even have a private or protected or something. It can have only public things. How exactly I'm planning this? Right click here. Okay, show in a system explorer. Okay, go to system explorer, and here just let it open, and I'm saying click here cmd. Okay, I'm saying Java P. Sorry guys, Java P, and then I'm saying my interface.java. But Java P will not work directly. First of all, you need to compile that code to Java C, because compiler is going to add the things. Now you cannot add the things. So I'm saying my interface.java. It has been compiled now. Okay, now I need to use the Java P. So like dot class file you're not mentioning like this, you need to not to mention the dot Java and Java doc, not Java doc. First of all, let me Java P profiler. If I click here, it will show. Are you able to see the public static file came automatically for this particular variable which is known as A? Did I mention public static file here? No, no, right? It's by default public. You cannot say it's a default. Okay. So first of all, this is one of the important interview questions. So public static file came automatically. You cannot have the things like without assigning the value. You cannot simply continue. See, it will give you the compile time error. Why? Because in the background, it's saying, see, it's saying initialize the final field. Are you able to see the final field here? No, it's still saying initialize the final field. I'm saying, okay, let me initialize here. I'm saying, okay, that's one. Okay, 10. I initialize. Now I'm not getting the error. Okay, are you able to see?